Welcome back, everybody, to the Wild Faith Podcast. My name is Evan Bungham, and tonight I am joined by a special guest. We have Ross Nelson in the house. Humbly let us come to his garage. So, without further ado, Ross, how are we doing tonight?
Great, man. It's awesome to chat finally. We've been talking about doing this for a while, so glad to have you in the old garage.
Yep.
Garage Lodge.
And it feels like fall. We're finally at a point of where we kind of hit that threshold. I think we finally hit the 50s this week, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, freezing almost last night and pretty early for September, but we'll be slinging arrows before you know it.
Slinging arrows, bow opener is next weekend, which is crazy for here in Minnesota. But the whole reason that we're doing this podcast is I want to chat to you tonight, and we'll get into it. But talking about Ross's moose adventures in Alaska, because he's gearing up to go on a trip here in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I leave Tuesday. So 4 or 5 days. So countdown's on, pressure's on, stress, packing, all the final tunings.
Love it.
So,
and kind of before we get into that though, just tell me, like, was it a good summer? I mean, kind of wrapping things up. I know we just got through Labor Day now.
Yeah, great summer. Obviously, lakes country, so spent a ton of time on the lake. I've got 3 girls, so we're girl dads united there. Spent a bunch of time on the lake. Great summer. Definitely ready for the fall season and slow down a little bit. So I mean, coming to a tail end of summer, kind of getting to this time of year and kind of your pedigree that you've had traveling out west, I guess. I mean, like, do you ever kind of just start to get the itch on the years that you're not doing trips like this, where it's like, September? Because I look at like September for me, it's exciting, but it's like it's bow opener and that's kind of it. There's nothing. I'm not going on any big trips or anything. Yeah, and I mean, we're similar. Like typically bow guy around here. Obviously fired up waterfall, pheasant hunting, but yeah, the years that you have something out west, it's like a different element. And then obviously to be able to go to Alaska is like, it's my third trip of their hunting. So it's super exciting. Not doing anything else out west this year. So
nice.
This is it for me. It's nice that it's like early in the season, knock it out of the way. Then you just come back and you get to hang out and whitetail hunt.
Love that. Yeah. And I mean, so before we kind of just get into the nuts and bolts of things, paint for me just a little bit kind of on your background. Like, I just want to know, like, obviously we've talked and we've been friends for a while now, but I just, just for the viewers and stuff listening, like, just how did you get into hunting? Who got you into hunting? I mean, have you been doing this your whole life?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think obviously southern Minnesota, we're both like from that part of the country. So we don't have many opportunities to do the big grandiose adventures. So, as you get older and you maybe make some money and like have the opportunities and that kind of grows on you. But growing up, I mean, southern Minnesota, I grew up in town. We moved.
I didn't know that you guys grew up in town.
Grew up in town.
Nice.
Families from up Crookston area, northern Minnesota. Okay. So that's where we whitetail hunt. So growing up, it's pheasant hunting. Duck hunting before school. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do a whole lot. Like I'd come up here to the Brainerd area. We have family that has a cabin. Mostly fishing is like what I grew up on. Fishing.
How long did you guys have that cabin?
My grandpa bought the place on Cross in 1974.
Okay. So you kind of had that always growing up as a kid.
My mom grew up going there, and my dad. And then we have aunts and uncles that live up here, fish. We did that. And then, the pheasant hunting was kind of our bread and butter growing up. That's really what got me into hunting, my dad. So
nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like with that and kind of growing up with your dad and your brother and hunting and all that stuff, I mean, like, did you ever think as a kid you'd be out adventuring like you did?
No, never. I mean, my grandpa was a big like elk hunter, adventure, Lake of the Woods. Did a couple moose hunts up in Canada, but I was so young when he did that stuff that I don't remember it. I just remember seeing, elk
Were you
mounts
guys
on the
pretty
wall.
Close?
Oh yeah. My grandpa, huge mentor of mine, my grandpa, my dad, my uncle, but you'd see the pictures of him in his flannel, no one had sick gear back then. Rifle, typical grip and grin, like, and then you get older and you kind of have more questions and want to like figure out how they do that. And then, still never thought I'd ever get to go do anything like that. So it's cool to be able to like realize some of those dreams,
So, I mean, like going from that, like you've had obviously all these, sounds like a pretty good childhood growing up, being pushed in the outdoors and stuff. I mean, have you been able to kind of share that with your family now? I mean, I know you got three young girls and.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, my wife was the first big game hunter of the family. So, she went up and got a caribou in Alaska. I think like the second year we were dating.
Oh, wow.
And I
thought you guys were married at that point.
No.
Second year. That's shot a caribou before you.
Yeah. And for the longest time in our house, that was the biggest animal hanging on the wall up until a couple of years ago. So that's a humble pill, but it's like badass. It's like my wife went and did this, hike in, pack out, caribou hunt. So yeah, I mean, it's cool now to like be able to kind of do some of that stuff. And yeah, the girls, we get out pheasant hunting. Last year, got the 2 older ones out in the deer stand, you know, like you and your daughter. It's like, it changes everything. Yeah. And all you want to do is like, just have them, you know, enjoy it, get the snacks, maybe try to be a little quiet, but like not ruin it for them. Be warm. It's kind of full circle when you've hunted with your parents or mentors and you get to take your kids.
What is the perspective like for you? Because we're in the same boat. Could change, but I've assumed that it'll stay the same for me. But what is it like being a girl dad, being a person who is, I mean, we're kind of two in the same cloth where it's like obsessed with the outdoors, like being a girl dad. What is that like? Do you ever like get worried that the girls don't want to be a part of it or? Oh,
for sure. I mean, you ultimately want your kid to like grow up and have their own passions and you don't want to sit and try to make them do something. Cause I think, you know, you probably as a kid too, there's moments you didn't want to get up and go duck hunting and, you know, it can ruin it. But my oldest has loved it. I think that's kind of like an older kid thing. They just pick up on whatever mom or dad do and are like, this is great. My second one, you know, we got to kind of shy away from what we talk about at dinner. Like, is this venison? Is this pheasant? It's like, oh no, it's just food, you know, because she kind of gets the squirmies. And I'm sure that's the same for you. It's like, you got to kind of try to walk the line a little bit, which is, it's fun. But yeah, I'm just happy even if they come out and sit for like an hour.
That's fun.
Or even just go walk and hope we make it, you know, one pass down the field for a bird or something. So.
Well, it's fun too that you can take them out on you guys' farm that you got up in Crookston, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they love it. Last year we had them both out, like I said, and my brother, it's nice when you can get your deer out of the way before they get there. Yep. Doesn't work out like that every year, but my brother ended up getting a nice 12-pointer when they were sitting out with me like 200 yards away. So
Did they get to see it?
We got to go over
fun
and help drag it out.
What did they think of the deer?
Oldest, chill, cool as a cucumber. Youngest one was not into it. Middle one, Sayla was not into it as much, which I think has some of the ramifications with the food right now. But we've got time.
That's such a hard cookie. Like I remember when Nora saw her first deer, and she's a thoroughbred killer at 4, which is terrifying at
Chip
this
off
point.
the old block.
Be very curious to see what Millie's going to be like. Millie, if you watch this in 10 years, it'll be funny. But she, it's always interesting. I remember like the first time she saw deer, she was so sad. She's like, oh no, Dad. And then now it's just like, you didn't take me to go gut this deer. And it's like, oh my God, what have I created?
for whatever reason, for my girls, what we've tried to emphasize is it's not a mom or a dad. Yeah. Not a baby. It's a doe. It's a fawn. It's a buck, and you kind of try to keep it separate from human thoughts and deer thoughts, and that seems to maybe work. I don't know. We're figuring out.
And your oldest got to go to Alaska.
Yeah, my oldest went up to Alaska in July.
What a crazy experience! Because she's 6.
She's 7, just turned 7. Yeah, right before her birthday. So she went up, did some fishing, went in the plane with my brother-in-law and his cub. She had a blast. It took me 30 years to get to Alaska, so she made it 23 years quicker. So
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, like same as you, like I thought like when I was a kid, I mean, I knew it as a really young kid and young man. I was like, if I ever go out West, I'm probably not going to come home. Yeah. And I really haven't. I mean, like I've been to Banff, I've been to California, which does not count whatsoever. Yeah. And that's it. That's all I've seen. I've been to like Western South Dakota. Yeah. So like that kind of counts.
Well, I mean, like the draw of it, I don't think for anyone that goes out there, even for you with like Banff, I mean, when you go out there, I think everyone is like, how do I live out here? I want to come back. Most of us don't have a plane or disposable income to go and like do a lot of the stuff that you need to do to survive in Alaska, or we don't own 1,000 acres in Montana, but there's something special about getting out in the big spaces for sure.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this podcast. I mean, I have a ton of questions for you outside of talking about Alaska, but I really wanted to pick your brain. I mean, like we're coming into September now, which is kind of, I would say, peak time for moose hunting.
Yeah. Moose opener, September 1st up there. So if you live in Alaska, and anyone on the pod or anyone listening, like if you imagine a small town that hunts whitetail or duck opener and everyone's riding around looking in the back of the truck for antlers.
Spooner, Wisconsin.
Yeah. That is everywhere in Alaska during moose season. There's moose racks hanging out the back of trucks. Everyone's talking about
how weighted down is a truck with a moose in it? Is it bottomed out?
Yeah, I mean,
who does it? Do people do that? Do they load full moose into a back of a truck, or I'm assuming it's quartered up?
No, it's quartered, but I mean that's 1,000 pounds almost.
Insane.
600 pounds.
I don't think I seen 2 moose. In my life, I think on the hoof, and they were both probably 500 yards away.
Yeah.
So I still don't know how big they actually are.
Yeah. I mean, it's like looking at a gigantic cow.
It's crazy.
So it's cool.
With 7-foot legs.
Yeah. And it's like totally different. It's totally different, but it's no different than, like I said, whitetail season in your small town and everyone's just fired up, and it's a cool environment. So
tell me about your first trip before we kind of get into talking about like gear breakdown and just being successful on the field. Just kind of break me through like I know you've been out there how many times now?
I've been up there quite a few times. This will be my 3rd time out flying and doing a hunt. So, my first trip I went, caribou hunt. Brother-in-law lives in Alaska, Air Force guy, has his own Super Cub. So
it's nice.
That's the luck of, for those of you listening, if you ever meet a woman who has or if the woman's a pilot, great. Or if she has a brother-in-law who owns a Super Cub and she's not bad looking and tolerable, might want to think about marrying that person. So so my brother-in-law's from this area, obviously, close to your family too, which is cool. But yeah, we went up caribou hunting, as him being a resident and me being next of kin, makes it pretty easy for me to go get a tag over the counter.
Could you even get that if you were not married yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, really?
You can go, there's zones where you can buy a tag over the counter.
Sure.
There's tons of different herds up there. So we did a fly-in trip, just for, fun. Him and I and a couple of his Air Force buddies. And, it was basically the most eye-opening thing I've probably ever done in my life.
First time ever out there, right?
First time really ever doing like a big Western hunt, to be quite honest. Like I'd never...
South Dakota,
I went
no
out South
Rockies.
Dakota. I went out to South Dakota, but I mean, your truck, go stay at a cheap hotel. Yeah. Super fun, not to take anything away from that.
I gotta quit comparing South Dakota to all of our Western listeners. Probably hate me for this because I compare South Dakota like, it's just like the Rockies. It's the same.
I hadn't done elk. I hadn't done any, first big game trip really. And I was pretty wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Sure.
Fortunately, have the brother-in-law. He's done it. Shot everything you can possibly imagine up there.
He's a killer.
He had me dialed. And it had a good solid group of guys to go with, which that's like kind of what it's about anyway. But yeah, we went out caribou hunting. Quite a long story there in terms of our success. We had a few guys get a caribou. Sure. I ended up getting socked in my tent for like 3 days, which everyone I'm sure has heard about. Though. Yeah. Socked in my tent with my father-in-law for 3 days. Saw a ton of great caribou. Yeah. They were out of our zone. Ended up getting lost for 8 hours, couldn't find our tent, raining, storming. We're going to basically sleep under a tree. It's like 35 degrees. I'm in reaching my brother-in-law, like, dude, we're screwed. Kind of panic setting in. You're starting to pray. Yeah. Pretty like traumatic actually. And then you get in the tent, you found it, thank God. Which is a hot tip to tie like a pink rope on top of your
something
tent and also mark where you've came from. But yeah, we ended up sitting in that tent for 2 days.
Just paint that picture for me, because I could not appreciate it until I put together Andrew and Ryan's moose video that they did with Isaac. And I didn't realize how remote and wild it is when all of a sudden they're talking about the tag elders that they're flying over and the willows of like, they look like they're 4 feet tall like they are here. Well, really in reality, they're 13 feet tall and it's a forest. So, I mean, just kind of bring that down to like layman's terms of like how wild it actually is.
Yeah. Without like blowing up a zone or anything. I mean, we're hours from anywhere via car. So, I mean, we drove hours in a vehicle, picked up in plane, another hoof in a plane, landing strip, another hoof to where I was camping. So, I mean, you're out there and you're flying over. And for me, you're seeing caribou everywhere. And all you can think, you're salivating. You're like, dude, I'm going to shoot a monster caribou, double shovel. You know, you're already thinking about all the success.
Right there, behind your shoulder.
Yeah, my grandpa's caribou. You're thinking about all the success. And then, you know, you quickly realize that's like, it's way harder than you see on any show or, you know, and then like you're out there and you have a Garmin inReach and you're relying on a plane and the weather is horrible, like pretty much all the time.
I mean, it could rain, snow, could really kind of do anything, can it?
Yeah. And like, I'm looking at the forecast for next week when I go, and my brother-in-law quickly humbles me and says, don't even look anything 24 hours in advance because it'll change. And you're just guaranteed for rain. Like you're guaranteed for rain. You pray for moments of sun, or at least just a break in it. But yeah, we were kind of in it for a while and saw a couple big moose, couple bears.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're you know, so it's a fly-in trip. So you're landing on a ridge, set up camp, and then you got to hoof it, you know, probably 1.5 miles down a valley and then up to the zone that's open still for this caribou tag. And yeah, we got over there, starts snowing and raining.
Fun.
And next thing you know, it's like fog, socked in, rain, snow. Well, we'll just head back down this valley and climb back up and be at our tent. And it's like, next thing you know, we've walked 4 miles too far south, start hoofing it the other way. Didn't mark it in my Garmin when I got there because you're just excited and you think it's going to be sunny and blue skies. And yeah, it was a big time learning experience. My father-in-law was
just
65
right?
at the time, double hip replacement. So he's not moving fast.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, you know, you don't want to kill him, but you also want to find your tent.
Yeah. Well, what time was this at?
Oh, let's see. So we went out right away in the morning. And for those of you who've never been to Alaska, like the fog typically doesn't lift. You know, it's usually foggy in the morning. So, I mean, you're usually it's not like here where you're up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get plenty of sleep when you're in Alaska.
Yeah.
So you're just itching to get out.
Yeah.
But we were out all day. It started probably raining and snowing at noon. And I don't think we found our tent till 10 p.m. And we looked for probably 8 or 9 hours.
In the dark, or was it still light?
Oh no, it was dark by the time we found our tent. It started getting dark there at like I think 8. And that's think terrifying. Alaska's you always hear about eternal sun. Well, not this time of year. I mean, it's pretty dark by, 7, 8 o'clock, just like Minnesota. So yeah, I was
breaking out your star map, looking up at the stars.
Yeah. I was like, well, we can make it. Like I had an emergency blanket. I'm like, we'll cuddle under this tree. And like, but you're thinking like, you feel embarrassed. Oh, that's how I felt. Yeah. I was like, I'm so embarrassed that I like came out here and I thought I was this badass, and like it humbled me immediately. And then we sat in the tent. My father-in-law was reading me the DNR game book. Didn't have any podcast. Nothing. And he's reading me the regs for Alaska, and I'm like, I can't sit here for 2 more days. So I'm, in reaching, can you get up to us? Can you fly to us? Yeah. Nope, not today. Same thing the next day.
What is that feeling like, knowing that like there's, you watch it on TV. Like I've watched like, not Survivor, Lost, I think it's called. Yeah. There's a couple of shows, but like where you're not getting picked up for 2 days.
Yeah. And like there's 2 things there. One, you can't really hunt because it's so foggy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like foggy all day. So like
fog, you can't see 100 yards in front of you.
Like for us to get over to the other zone and how high we were.
Yeah.
We would have had to walk 6 miles. But the problem now, and this is with anything flying there, is you have to pack that meat to back where the plane can land.
Yeah.
So it really limits you. Like, sure, we could have hoofed 7 miles and probably found caribou and got one. But then now,
how are we going
to get it out? And you can't
leave
it. You can't let it spoil.
Which I think is kind of cool with Alaska. I will give them props on that.
Yep.
I mean, it probably makes for harder getting out situations because they'll slap a huge fine on you.
And they fly over everything. You have to register where you were.
Yeah.
And they'll fly over everything. And like, we saw caribou 200 yards, like monster bulls from basically the ridge where we could shoot. And the thoughts start crossing. It's like, I could probably shoot that and drag it. And it's like, no, it's not worth a lifetime in jail. But yeah, so we kind of sat there, and then it's like, well, can we get back down to where those guys are and hunt with them? Because they were lower elevation. They were hiking up.
Yeah.
Can we go hunt with them? And you just, you want to get something at the end of the day, right? You want to be successful. And then it started turning to like, okay, I'd like to not be here a week longer. Yeah. And that's what it turned into quickly, was like, hey, you're going to be there another 4 or 5 days.
Is that something you typically plan for on a trip? Like knowing that you might get stuck there for a week? So if you say you go for a 2-week trip?
I was told that. Whether I like took that to heart, obviously not.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it did quickly was like, I want to get out of here. And you kind of go a little crazy. And we're up on a ridge. There's no trees. It's
like that fight or flight mode kind of kicks in.
Don't have a fishing pole to go down and fish. Like every morning you're seeing like caribou herds were coming through the fog right by our camp. So that, that's cool. It's beautiful. You're thankful, but you can't see anything. So you're just sitting in this fog. So basically, we determined like, there's 2 options. You wait another week, which my father-in-law was happy to do. Again, he's older. Or there's like a 9-mile hike over a saddle, bushwhack along the river.
How much did you guys pack in at this point? Since you get dropped off?
60. It's probably about 65-pound pack. Like, you had your gun, you had food.
65 a piece.
65 a piece.
Yeah.
Like I had the tent, sleeping bag, but it's nothing major.
Yeah.
For me. For him,
well, 9 miles, that's in rugged country.
Yeah. And it's like up over a saddle. Again, you've never been there.
Yeah.
All I have is my inReach with a map where I've never been. And, fortunately, the crew that we were with, it's like, hey, 9 miles down to the river, and then you can walk the river back. So we ended up, I'm like, we're doing it. And I'm like, I told my father, I'll take as much weight as we can. And we just basically counted paces.
Oh, you did
1,000-mile paces, 1,000 paces.
Some ranger stuff right there.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like a ranger. I felt like a dipshit, but it was cool. I mean, that was an adventure. I mean, and that's kind of what you take away is
God, you did it.
Yeah. So we walked, we got to that saddle the first night. We left at 9 a.m. Walked, got to the saddle. And like you said, it's tall. You're bushwhacking. Get to the saddle, I can hear the river. And then I could hear my brother-in-law during the day flying up and down the river to try to give us like a, hey,
a line.
We're here,
No shot of getting picked up on the river though.
No, there's nowhere to land. There's no gravel bar. There's nothing. So we got to that saddle, like slope, there's no clearing, just threw our tent down on some matted down trees, didn't throw out the sleeping bags, just basically laid in the tent in our clothes.
Damn.
Woke up in the morning, got down to the river, full bushwhack, falling over, tripping, soaking wet, it's raining, rain gears soaked through, liners falling out. And then we basically, it took 2 full days walking. So we just ate bars, water out of the river, and got to their camp at like 11 p.m. the second night. Soaking wet. Get in there.
Are they in the same zone that you guys were hunting in?
Yeah.
You were just in a different
same
location?
zone, but we get there, we get to this first zone, we land, everyone throws their shit out. Hey, we need 2 guys that are willing to go up to the ridge. Yeah. And I'm like, that's where the
Deuces.
monster bulls are.
Yeah.
I'm going. And one of the other guys is a ranger.
Yep. Cool.
Badass guy. He's done a lot of hunting up there. And he's like, I'll go. And I'm like, dude, we're going to murder. And then my brother-in-law is like, record scratch.
No.
Why don't you take my father-in-law? You guys know each other, which was great. It was a special time. But yeah, I ended up hoofing back.
I can't remember. Has he killed a caribou?
No caribou. He had got a monster 74-inch
Moose.
Boone and Crockett moose up there on a float trip. So yeah, he made it back. He was struggling real bad. Like I was getting concerned.
At that point, you guys put on some.
Yeah, like miles. I was like texting, in reaching my wife, like, I'm concerned about your dad.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't want to push him to die, but I'm like ready to just like go.
Yeah.
And he's had they have heart stuff in their family. So you got to be cognizant of that, but it's like, we're close. We can get back. Anyway, we get back, crash out. Isaac on the way can see us, drops us like a Mountain Dew and some Oreos from his plane in a bag, which is like money.
Airdrop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, we get back and we're zonked, tired, trying to dry our stuff out. And I'm like, where's Chad? He's like, oh, he got a bull and he was hiking it out. And he came in at like 2 a.m., hiked down from a different, saddle and had a nice caribou. It was so, I got to be involved in nice. At least a little bit of it and, have a pretty cool story for a while. So
what a hell of a first trip though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, kind of a slap on the face of like, hey, Alaska's real.
Oh yeah. And like, I'm sure you listen to podcasts, you watch videos, you're like, you get the gear.
You feel like you know what you need to do.
You're like, oh, I can do it. Like, you hear about all this stuff and then, you go and it happens and it's like, okay. And then you come to realize like other people that have gone, that's the norm.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be stuck in your tent. You're probably going to have to hike out. You're probably not getting in the day you want to go and you're probably not leaving the day you want to leave.
Yeah.
Like that's what you've got to be prepared for.
I think that's the biggest thing, which is, I didn't really think about that. I mean, I've obviously had some conversations with like Ryan and Andrew with their trip and just some other people that I know that have done it, but you kind of forget about it because you think of like when you go on elk hunting trips, it's like, yeah, you just hoof it out, whatever you need to do. Yeah, it's fine. But like you were at the mercy of that person picking you up and really at the mercy of the elements at that point in time where it's like you don't have a choice. You're stuck for 2 days.
No. And like, that's a great point because when you think about like Western hunting, it's like, lower 48 Western hunting. Yeah. Absolutely. There's stuff that happens. There's people that get stuck out there, hypothermic, whatever, break a leg. You're somewhat close. Like someone can get to you. Walkable. You can get to a road. But like up there, it's a plane. Yeah. And next thing you know, you've got multiple people all trying to get out, putting pressure on the pilot, which is a whole other thing. Like,
100%.
They're all trying to appease, their friends, their clients, whatever the situation is.
But they got to be safe too, though.
Now they're putting themselves into precarious situations, trying to fly in low visibility. There's 100%. No ceiling. And it's like all these things start to play out. It's like, you need to like have experience. You need to go with someone that knows what they're doing. It's not like let's just load up the trucks and throw in a case of beer and like,
honey, we're taking the kids for the weekend.
Yeah. So like I learned a lot. Obviously, like you learn about gear, you learn about what not to bring, like what to bring, like why did I bring this? This never dried.
Before you tell me about your gear breakdown, I do want to hear a success story. So you have shot a moose.
Yep. Yeah.
Tell me about that hunt quick.
A couple years ago. Yeah. So similar deal. Went with my brother-in-law, same type of situation, over the counter.
Second trip at
this
is
point? My second trip, 2 years later. And whenever your brother-in-law asks you if you want to come on a trip, it's like you do it and you just kind of ask for forgiveness later. He's asked me to go on a few different trips and it's like, you want to go, there's financial implications, there's family, there's work. It doesn't ever line up. Sometimes it's like 2 weeks out. It's commitment. Hey, can you come up and do a bear hunt? I'd love to. So, obviously my wife's super supportive. So we went up and did a moose hunt. I was able to fly out with him and, totally different mindset. Like I felt ready this time, as ready as you can be.
How long did you grow your beard out to? Did you feel like a mountain man?
Yeah, I grew the mustache. It's mustache season up there. So yeah, I felt like I worked out, packed. That's the big thing on that caribou hunt. I never got to do a pack out. I did quite a hike out, but even with a caribou, it's a fraction of the weight.
Yeah.
So for the moose hunt, you're not probably hiking as far, but that hike distance, whatever it is going to be excruciating. So yeah, we flew, super cool experience. Like everything we were able to see. I mean, the flight itself, like people pay money, thousands of dollars to do a flight like that. So yeah, flew in, set up camp. We're able to put a couple. So in Alaska, you can't obviously hunt the day you fly in.
Well, most guys fly in the afternoon then.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will fly all day and try to, maybe scout for which
you're allowed to do, right?
You're allowed to do. That just changed this year for doll sheep. So doll sheep, that's obviously a huge benefit. Anyone that's a pilot, you can fly and scout. But they just changed that this year to the season opener date is the last day you can technically fly and scout.
Oh, really?
So you have to find a zone and park your plane. Beneficial for the guide and outfitter business there. But that changes things. So
it's a pretty coveted tag though.
Yeah. Sheep tags.
Goat tags, I feel like you can get pretty
goat
easy.
tags. Yep. Yeah. Even for residents, I feel like there's a pretty good chance to be able to get a sheep tag, but just getting one that's a whole other can of worms.
Like
but
I've never told Isaac, but like I've got a buddy, Tyler, if you're listening, shout out to you. He got a coastal caribou tag, which I think is really hard to get.
Yep.
And then in the same year got a bison tag.
Oh, sick.
Which is like a once in a lifetime tag. And this was like year 2 or 3 of him living up there. And all of his resident buddies were just like, what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So was that like a winter hunt?
No, it was like, I think similar time frame of where it was.
Yeah.
And he logistically, I don't think could make it happen.
Yeah, I think there's that one. And then there's like,
you got a muskox too.
There's a winter like wood bison tag that Isaac went with a couple of his buddies to help on. Super cool.
So cool.
You'll have to share the YouTube page in there. He has a YouTube video of that bison hunt he went with them on.
Shout out to Isaac Landecker.
Yeah.
Go follow his YouTube page.
Yeah.
We'll have him on the podcast here at some point in time, but he's got a legendary
you
page.
think I have any stories to stand on?
He's got some cool stories.
So yeah, we did that moose hunt and we're able to see, what I thought we saw a few bulls. I thought all of them were like
giants.
You're hanging out of a super cub, kind of flying.
Would you say average, like looking at like 60-inch bulls, 50-inch bulls? I mean, like
for the ones we saw, like
it's like SCI.
Everything's over 50. I mean, like a Minnesota moose up there is nothing. You know, so you're seeing. I don't even know
what's an average moose, like 50
up there,
or I mean, just in general. I mean, like Minnesota isn't it like 50 something.
Yeah, I mean anything close to 60, I think, is a pretty big Minnesota moose. Okay. But up there,
the gold standard's like a 70-inch moose.
Yeah, I mean, when you're close to 70, that's a Boone and Crockett. Yeah. Like, so when you're flying, you're kind of looking for, and again, I'm no expert, but I'm relaying what I've learned.
Soaking in information.
You're looking for character, like because you're so big, you can't sit there and measure it.
Yeah.
Like sure, maybe you can try to snap a picture. And
is there any legal like it has to have so many points on one side or anything weird?
Not
like
in
that?
the zone we were at. For width, there has to be.
Oh, really?
But I felt pretty comfortable that we would obtain that width measurement.
Is there like a gray area though with that where it's like when you're looking at that thing through obviously probably good optics from a couple hundred yards away, where it's like, oh, well, I think that's within a couple inches, or is like the Alaska DNR like, no, you're an inch off. Like we are going to see.
Yeah, it's serious for the zones that are like in again.
Because I feel like the Alaska DNR out of all the DNRs are probably, which they should be because it's one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Oh yeah. And I mean like I said, they fly over every carcass. So there's no like skewing anything.
Yeah.
And you can bet when you're driving your truck through Anchorage with a bull moose in the back, like there's eyes on it.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to get stopped. You're going to get checked. So, I felt confident. I also had someone who's done it a dozen
Seen
times
a
or
ton of
more. Now, I didn't know if he was going to be with me.
Yeah.
So, the intent was for me to just do a week by myself. Again, nerve-wracking. But I felt good. Second trip. Yeah, I'm an expert now.
I got it.
If I'm raining, at least I can be by myself and like sleep the entire time. There's no hiking out for this one though. So like you're there. So that helped me knowing that, having that previous experience, being like, okay, I'm going, I have 10 days. I'm staying probably 11. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no.
Did you plan out 2 weeks for the trip?
10
days.
Like,
honey, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. 10 days. I did a couple days in Anchorage with my brother-in-law. And then,
that's the thing too. I mean, like, I don't think people understand, like, for you to get to the spot you're trying to get to, it isn't just like, you know what? We're going to be there in 5 hours from Minnesota.
Yep.
It's a 2 day journey.
It's a 5.5 hour direct flight from Minneapolis to Anchorage. And then, we're doing a little bit of navigating from Anchorage. So, and obviously, for anyone that's never been to Anchorage, there's a lot to do and see just an hour around Anchorage. So, you want to see your friends and brother-in-law and connect and hang out and have a beer and grill and,
before the suck.
And, enjoy it. And then, afterwards you want to, take time to get your stuff packed up and, you got to boil a skull maybe, hopefully, if you're lucky and do all that stuff. So I planned, I think I was there 14 days and 10 of those days were dedicated to strictly being in the field. Yeah. So I was like ready for that. Anyway, we landed, saw a couple bulls, and there's a bull locked in a cow that like we felt good about. Yeah. It was the one that we'd kind of seen from the plane. Set up tent, wake up, pea soup, fog.
Damn.
Just like
that has to be infuriating.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to go out and try to like get within hand distance of the
moose.
And
when we went to bed, it was raining pretty hard. So like, once that happens, it's like, it's going to be foggy in the morning. So, you just wake up and you hear the rain and you're just like, please don't be super foggy. And you wake up, open the tent door and you can't even see like 100 yards. And it's a lot because with a fly-in hunt, you're landing a plane and you're hoping to shoot that moose within 2 miles. I mean, even anything longer than that, you can't do it. I mean, you shouldn't do it. You're risking spoilage. You're risking bears on the, between trips. Anyone that's not like Cam Haynes is probably not doing like, 8 trips. It's eight loads for one moose, 2 miles, 16 miles. 8
loads for 2 people?
8 loads for one person is a moose. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, you got hindquarters. Put a bull to bed. Woke up, socked in, and you wait a couple hours. You're thinking that thing's gone, right? Like it's toast. I'm not going to find that, which is fine. That's part of it. It's not your bull if you see it, but it kind of feels that way.
And are you seeing anybody out there?
No.
Yeah, I would figure.
No. I mean, maybe a random plane.
Sure.
Another outfitter that's out there, but no, you're not seeing much. So we put that bull to bed. Fog clears. You're just sitting in the tent,
chomping,
like just fawning to go. Anyway, fog clears. We split up. Each take a little side of a knob to glass. And there's a little draw down there with a willows and a little lake. So you're thinking that, hopefully it's still bedded in those willows. We'll wait for it to stand up.
I mean, like, are they taller than the willows?
You can see when they're in the willows, you can typically see that, that bull's frame, that rack sticking out. But no, I mean, there could be a bull in there and you wouldn't see it at all. So you don't know. So we're kind of in like a bowl. Anyway, we pop over right to the left, like 400 yards. There's a bull down the hill. And I'm like, hey, let's knock it out. You're still here with me. I can maybe get you to pack out a load or two. Because he was going to fly out that afternoon to go do his own thing, which is fine. But while he's there, I'm like, I'm going to use you. He's like, no, that's not the one we saw, which, I just
What day is this, the hunt?
First day. First day of us hunting. So this is the first day we can hunt.
Okay.
After flying in. So I'm like, I know I have 10 days.
Yeah.
I came up here the first time, got skunked, got humbled. Like, I may never come back here ever again.
Yeah.
Like, I could never come do a moose hunt ever again. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
It's like, we've got 10 days. Like, let's grind it out. Thankful for that. Still, like, to this day, I think if I would have been by myself, I would have dropped it.
Whack that moose. Didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. So, kept glassing probably about 1-ish, I would say. We decided to move around to where we'd saw that bull go to bed and see if we could just get another angle at it. Went over, hiked over, and sure enough, there it was on the backside of these willows, raking, and like, it's the one we saw. You see it, and you're within 1,000 yards, and you're just like, your heart is pounding on your chest. I mean, you talk about buck fever, bull moose fever. Like, I couldn't even like hold my hands. And he's like, "Oh, you think you want to make a move on it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's freaking go." And then now here you're at this opportunity that you've like dreamed about, and you think, well, how, like, where do we go from here? Like,
still day one, right?
Still day one. Yeah. Like, he's there. He's cow calling, not moving, not responding. Goes into these willows, thick willows, and then now you start to play with like how far are we going to get from the plane?
Yeah,
like where we can land to pack this thing out, and your mind starts thinking like, we got to kind of move. So we kind of make our way after him in the willows, and again, like, I'm just following along,
Yep.
And he's raking brush and kind of lose sight of the bull, and eventually we kind of get to where we think that it's probably like level with us, and we're out in tundra and it's down in some willows, and it stood up and whacked it, dropped it.
Nice.
Went over, and like, yeah, you can't believe the size. So yeah, then the pack out begins, the work begins, took some cool pictures. And then, then you realize like why people don't shoot those things far from wherever they have to go, because it was
like shooting a minivan.
Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done anything harder than pack out a moose. So I don't think I ever will. I won't have a baby of my own. So I tell my wife about our kids. It's like, well, you haven't packed out a moose. So
it's a lot worse. Mm-hmm. Well, cool. So you second trip in.
Yep.
Got a moose.
Yep.
Check that off the bucket list.
Yep. That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool experience. I mean, unbelievable experience. And again, never thought I'd get to go back or do that. Yeah. And fortunately, brother-in-law still lives up there and has opportunities to go up. And, this trip that I'm going on is more of a guide-ish role, pack mule, if you will. He's got an air taxi now, so he's taking some guys out, and I'm just going to go along with and enjoy the
beautiful
experience.
Place, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, cool. I feel like that's part of it. And we'll get into this here too, but like, there is something to embracing the suck.
Yep.
Of where it like just resets you from a life perspective. Like, that was really hard, and you come back and you're humbled, and it's just like, this is easy.
Yeah. And then like, that's the thing now, this time it's like, okay, I'm going in and I'm just grunt. Like, I'm packing meat, and like, hopefully make someone else's experience just like I had, and like something that they can remember forever. Mm-hmm. And like, hopefully it goes smooth. Hopefully they have some struggles, and like, we're going to pack a moose out for a couple people, hopefully.
Love that.
Yeah.
Before we talk about gear though, break down to me, like, what does it go into having like a successful moose hunt? I feel like part of it, just from like listening to you, is like, you have to have good weather that helps. But I feel like there's got to be other facets to the system that make it easier to have a successful hunt.
Yeah. I mean, the intel is like numero uno. Mm-hmm. Just like if you're going out west, right? Like, you got to go out and scout. You got to go out and do research. Well, for probably 90% of the people that go to Alaska, you're not going to scout.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a guide or an outfitter, and for a lot of stuff, you do have to have that if you're in the lower 48. Mm-hmm. So there's road hunts you can go do, like the caribou hunt in Alaska. You can go up the Dalton Highway and hunt caribou. You know, you're going in blind.
Yeah.
So for like a moose hunt, you know, if you have the opportunity to go with a friend or a taxi or outfitter, like you have to do that. And like that is kind of what you're paying for.
Yeah.
You know, yes.
Just to get you in position.
Just to get you in position. Because if you're hunting off the road, it's going to be probably a little bit lower class of animal. Like that's just understood. And then likely your road and then boating in the river. So you got road, boat, long drives.
Yeah.
And you're cruising up and down the river. With an air taxi, you have the ability to be able to do a little scouting in the air. You have the zone, and you know the biggest thing is then landing in that zone, and you got to try to be able to kill someone within the landing zone.
Yeah.
So, and in terms of preparation, like if you can't walk a mile with a 100-pound pack, I wouldn't go.
I think that's so real though, because it's like you take it for granted. All the things up to shoot, like that's the easy part.
Yep.
Is shooting the animal.
Yep.
I mean, the work, that's the mantra. Like the work begins now. Like it doesn't begin until you start packing that moose out.
Yeah. And you're not only wrestling with like meat spoilage, you know, fortunately it gets pretty cold down. Awkward loads. It gets cold, but you got bugs, you got bears. So like you're kind of against the clock. And like, I think that's the case for, you know, Western hunting too. Yeah. You want to, you know, early September out West, it's like, it's hot. You don't want meat to spoil. So you're against the clock in kind of all these scenarios. I don't think anyone just sits around, we'll get to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like on a moose hunt, it's like you basically clean the animal and hike it out. No matter, like you're not going to kind of take a night off and we'll hang some meat. There's nowhere to hang it for most spots, unless you're along a river. And then there's going to be bears within 100%. Probably 24 hours. So like you got to get on that fast, and it's like a race against the clock, and it's like a marathon of just packing meat. And it's
like, I can't even imagine like what the hell happened. What if you sprain your ankle or like you blow out your knee?
Yeah. You're in trouble. Yeah. Because you're responsible to get that animal out.
Yeah.
You know, you have to take it. You know, there's no way of leaving, you know, so I can't even speak to like if someone sprains their ankle, like if you have a guide or outfitter, I'm sure that's helpful. But even like with an air taxi scenario, they're not legally allowed to pack the meat out for you. So like you're obligated to pack that out by yourself. Like that air taxi can't help you in the field. So.
And like I know for this trip you did, and I'm sure you did for your last one though. I mean, like you put in some work in the off season.
My wife's a big runner, so like by association, not wanting to be a piece of shit. You guys are both
freak athletes.
By not being a piece of shit, like I just want to run, you know? So like, I feel like I run, but yeah, that first time I went and I hoof hills with a pack on and in your boots and stuff to try to get a feel for it. And same thing this time, you're doing squats, you're doing pretty much leg workouts, you know, and just trying to like, I don't think that you can be in good enough shape. Like even for me, like this last week or two, it's like, all right, it is what it is now. I'm going to be miserable.
Yeah.
And you know, you'll get through it. It's
yeah.
Like you can't do anything.
I mean, like the best training I could think about would be like taking your, God, I don't know, if you like maybe throwing like your dresser onto your frame pack somehow, having an awkward load of just like, all right, I got to take this from here to the end of the driveway.
Well, it's awkward loads like we talked about. It's like dog food, bag of dog food,
whatever works.
Softer salt, 2 bags of softener salt, and like make it kind of feel awkward in your pack because it's like just a bag.
I mean, the hind-quarter is like what, 6 feet tall?
Yeah. And I was actually thinking about this. That's like the easiest. It's the heaviest is like the hind 125
but it's
pounds.
Probably the easiest.
But it's the easiest because it's straight up. There's bone in. You have to leave bone in on front and back shoulder. Yeah.
Did not know that. Fun. That's probably easier from a cleaning perspective.
Yep.
Not having to go through and like piece out meat. But when you're talking, you're getting your back straps now. You're getting into all the other stuff.
Yep.
You're picking, are you picking rib meat too?
Rib meat. You got to take it all. You got to clean as much as you can off of it. And, that trim load's the weirdest because it's like a round.
It's just a freaking ball of meat.
It's like a medicine ball, like a 100-pound medicine ball. But yeah, those back legs are just super tall, but it actually gives you some stability
Counterbalance.
having that bone in it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, this is super heavy, but I feel like I can not fall over. Where that like trim load is like, I just dread that. I think I lay awake thinking about the trim load. So,
you know what though? I mean, like at that point, I've never experienced it, so I don't know. I mean, the little pack outs that I've done just in South Dakota, I can't really, I mean, you could take a whole mule deer yourself. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like your adrenaline level for the first maybe load or two is at the highest.
Yeah.
And then you get to the last couple and it's like, this sucks.
Well, and like knowing you, like you'd be, it's all about your attitude.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you know, doing it with someone like you has a great attitude and is like positive. You're fired up.
Yeah.
You're fired up for your friend. You're fired up for your family, whoever the case may be. But yeah, by the end, you're like, I don't need to do this at all anymore. And then
like, I definitely don't think you would want to do, I just look at it like we've talked about like Boundary Waters before too, where it's like, you kind of make or break a relationship, I feel like, with a friend going to Boundary Waters. Yep. Maybe same thing like with a Western trip. But I would think on a level of steroids in Alaska where it's like, I couldn't imagine camp with like not a fun person or a person with a bad attitude. It would just be like, man, we just need to survive these next 5 loads and get them out of here.
It's like, that is, you know, everything you hear with hunts and people, it's like that make or break. You know, you want to have someone
never be back.
Well, and even in those down moments in a tent, it's like you want to have someone that you can hang out with, and you know, if you don't want to talk, great, throw your AirPods in, and like not just someone that's like completely. That
would be a hard one for me. That would just make it where it's like it went from good to it's gonna be hard getting this thing done to like it's impossible at this point.
Well, and then there's this hierarchy too. Like I feel like I try to be like a know-it-all, and I'm not in Alaska. So it's like the second time I went, I was like, yes, sir, no, sir.
Yep.
It's like, you tell me what to do, how high you want me to jump.
For sure.
I'll jump, you know, like you just take orders and assume that role. And I think that's a good relationship to consider when you do any hunt is like, okay, who it maybe isn't the best hunter or the best stalker, but like if we're doing logistics, who's the best at logistics? Let them take the lead. If you're the best at glassing, Evan, you're going to glass, you're going to be lead. Hey, if you're the best at navigating, fall back. You know, it's a yin and yang, and
teamwork.
Yeah, it's like it matters for the entire trip.
Yeah, and I think that's the fun thing with like moose camp or even like elk camp. I would say maybe not necessarily deer, just because it's on such a smaller level. But like, if someone gets a bull, we all win. Like that's a like I look at South Dakota as kind of the same way. It's like this last trip for me this last year. Worst trip I've had in my life, because not only did it cost me $10,000 because my truck breaking down, I also wounded the biggest buck of my life and never got one. But Noah got his first buck, which is so cool. Eric got his second buck out there, and like that made the whole trip. Yeah. And then if we wouldn't have killed one, it would have sucked.
Well, yeah, how sucky would have been too if you're just moping around about your truck 100%. And your deer. It's like
you make the best of it.
You're like fired up for everyone. It's like, hey, it'll make a good pod, you know?
So what's the break down some gear for me? Because I feel like you have to be so tactical and strategic, and it blows my mind to think of like what all these, I don't want to call them pioneers, but I guess kind of like the people that have homesteaded Alaska forever, like how they've gotten by without modern day technology that we have now.
Yeah, it's very overwhelming. Again, you know, I've got someone to lean on, so that matters all the difference. There's so many good resources out there. Like the first time I went, I was watching gear videos, trying to, you know, shave weight, look at what works for rain, what doesn't work for rain. What
can you typically fly with, like weight wise? I mean, it's all based on the plane.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the body weight, but he has a belly pod. So I felt comfortable. Like my pack, I wanted to be 50 pounds.
Okay.
You know,
which might be hard for some people to keep it under 50 pounds.
Yeah. There's some leeway there. You know, he's flying out moose in his plane too.
Yeah.
So like there's in his plane, there's plenty of space for 2 guys and your gear, like, you know, your backpack.
Yeah.
So you're not bringing freaking stoves or anything, you know, it's a jet boil. So I'm not 300 pounds. So like I have a little more leeway.
Pays to be skinny.
So like, there wasn't this huge weight concern for his plane. Obviously you don't want to overdo it for how bulky it is in there.
Yeah.
So he gave me some good tips on that, but like, yeah, I mean, it's daunting. Like you're talking water bladders. I mean, that's the hardest thing with anything. Even when we talk about the pack out, all you want to do is chug water. And it's like, I got to hike down and get more water from the stream and filter it.
What the hell do you do if you didn't have a stream by you?
You have to.
So, as you say, I would assume that your only source, so you're not packing in water.
No, typically where you're at too, like you're by water, just for like moosey habitat. So like you're by a stream, you're by a creek, you're by a mucky beaver bog. Swamp water, and then you have filter systems. So I have like a platypus filter. You can hang it. Filters, I think like 25 liters of water at a time. So I can just hook that hose up.
Are you doing filter and a steri pen, or are you doing just a filter?
I just do a filter.
Okay.
Now, like if you're at a river there, you're pretty good. I mean, you don't even probably have to filter it, but like some of that moose swamp, I bring.
Dude, I've seen pictures.
Yeah, I bring a filter, and then I do bring iodine tablets.
Oh yeah, that works too.
I've heard stories about how those can be kind of hard on you. I did like a trip in Nepal and used iodine tablets for like 15 days. And
Nepal.
And didn't
you go to Nepal?
Yeah, my wife and I did a backpacking trip in Nepal.
Jeez, nice.
But so like I stick with the filter. I haven't had any issues. Yeah. But yeah, you can't like pack in water. I mean, you can't. Like
I don't know how you'd
dehydrated
water.
Isaac has a couple bladders. Like he'll maybe fill up, but we've never done that. We've been by water primarily. Yeah, and even if you're flying or you're doing like a float trip, which a lot of people do for moose hunts, you got accessible water. So, but yeah, the gear, rain gear, number one, most important piece.
Not a frog tog suit.
No, no, like there's debate amongst the moose hunter community, and I've been on trips where people are wearing chest waders.
Okay.
Because you're in swampy.
Waders?
Yep. Waders.
Really?
Yep. Like you're hiking through swampy stuff. I think your brother-in-law, one of the years he went, they were all decked out in waders. Now they were doing a float trip.
Yeah.
So you're in and out of a raft.
Yep.
You're along the river, so you're gonna be in the water a lot. For these fly-in trips, not as necessary. Like I throw on a pair of hip waders just in case. Like I need to. I haven't used them the last two times. I'm not bringing them this time.
How deep are the rivers usually? Depends.
You can get waist deep. Like where we did the moose camp last year, you wouldn't have to cross that river. Okay. Now, like we were looking for a place to pack on a moose last time I was there, and I would have liked to have my hip waders. Like I got up to my knees in muck, and you can just take your pants off or whatever. But rain gear is like essential, and it can't be the heavy like stuff. You need to have it be light because it's hot.
You're freaking huffing too,
and you just kind of live in your rain gear. I mean, you just kind of all day you're in your rain. Yeah, you're in your rain gear pretty much all day, and like your pants.
Are you playing wind too with all this when it comes to shooting moose? I mean, like if you were bow hunting and you're getting within that distance, I'd assume that has to maybe play into it a little bit.
It's a factor, but realistically, like
I know moose are like blind, pretty much.
Yeah, they're blind. A lot of, I don't want to say that they haven't seen people, but like it's
for those moose that probably is. I mean, it's the first time they've probably seen
the wind's a factor. I wouldn't say it's much of a factor in the encounters that I've had.
Yeah.
Usually if you can see it, you can get close enough to make a shot. I mean, if you can get within 500, which you pretty much can, you're usually working high, moving down, which is helpful.
Sure.
So that's helpful. But yeah, the wind isn't a huge deal in my experiences.
So I'm curious. I'm a nut. Like I am so bound and determined that the first moose that I shoot will be with a bow.
Yeah. That's another can of worms. And that's like Isaac's done float trips.
Yeah.
And he's done.
I think one of his biggest moose is with the bow.
Yeah. Booting. I think he got a 74-inch bull moose. He's got a super cool video on that he did.
What the float trip he did?
Float trip, solo float trip. I think he floated 100 miles. With his bow.
100 miles.
100 miles. And that's a completely different ball game because you're just floating,
just
stopping, seeing what you can see along the river, and then you raft that moose out. But yeah, that was a toad. But yeah, the bow experience would be
So rain gear.
Yeah.
And then what else? I mean,
I got to shout out. This is not sponsored. Dude wipes. You got to have wet wipes. Toilet paper.
Hell of a lot better than toilet paper.
Toilet paper is going to get wet. Dry bags are like essential. So I piece out all my gear in dry bags.
Yeah.
Really, for like 2 weeks for me, it's like 2 pairs of pants. Just wear them.
Yep.
You know, hopefully the rain gear makes it. You kind of rotate.
I just look at a trip like that. You're going to stink regardless.
Yeah, you're going to stink. Who cares?
Yep.
Like, embrace it. Wet wipes, dude wipes come and play there for taking a little
mint.
hand sanitizer bath.
Dude wipes are my favorite.
And then like even for your sleeping bag, you're thinking like for the lower 48 and like for all the new gear now, it's like that merino wool, right? It takes the odor away. It's pretty rugged. It's breathable. But up there, it's a lot of synthetic because it dries a lot faster. So like the sleeping bag situation, like it's raining every day, all the time. You get wind, you get storms. So like even stuffing your sleeping bag in like a dry sack instead of putting it in your stuff sack, right? Like that's something you
do they make a dry sack, like a large dry sack for your sleeping bag? Almost like a bivvy?
I bought one from Seal Line or REI has stuff sacks.
I've always done
25 liter.
Okay.
You know, I have a large sleeping bag. 25 liter fits mine. 20 liter will not fit it. Found that out the hard way.
Oh, you got an extra dry bag now.
So dry bags, rain gear, socks are essential. You want to rotate those every day. And
are you a big merino wool guy though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my
merino wool
stuff's like
socks
merino wool.
Everything's
like
the best.
Darn Tough socks.
The best.
Are
best warranty.
What I roll with up there. And then the problem is like nothing can get dry. Yeah. So like inside my tent, I've lined it with parachute cord to like try to dry stuff and hang it, but it won't dry. So like you might get it somewhat.
Pack a little solar fan.
Yeah, and then it's like,
the sun's out.
The sun's out. I'm gonna lay my stuff out in the tundra moss.
Rains.
Oh, starts pouring. So it's like you just kind of gotta. And the weather isn't like freezing, but it's cold.
Cold.
And then you're damp, so you just
wet and cold.
You're just
sucks.
layering. It's like you got a puffer, you got puffer pants, and then. You know, once it starts raining, you just put the rain gear on and you kind of just get used to it. You are sitting in the tent for quite a while. So like you do stay warm and then freeze dried food pretty much nonstop.
What would you say from like, if you had to give like any advice to people, and I think I know the answer on this, like I wouldn't want to roll out there with like cheap stuff.
No. Yeah. And we were kind of like talking about this a little bit before, but like my Garmin went down, my InReach, and it's like, it's expensive. There's other options, but they're super great about the warranty.
Yeah.
Same thing with any gear. Like I'm a gear nut. Like I like quality stuff. It pays.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to roll out there with like, you know, Under Armour briefs because they're going to like, next thing you know, you got like crotch rot and those things are shredded and you're chafing. It's like pay for a couple like 2 changes of quality clothes and yeah, it's expensive, but there's deals, there's whatever.
I think
and they last forever.
For sure. And I think in retrospect to the typical trip costs, what it costs, it's pennies.
Yep. Well, and like the stuff now, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, it's like my parents would get me the Walmart
100%.
Real Tree snow pants. I mean, I wore those until I was like 20 years old. Yeah. And that was cheap. Yeah. This stuff now, it's like, I haven't bought a whole lot of new gear since I went on my first trip up there 10 years ago. You know, you upgrade a few things here and there, maybe get a new pair of boots, but like I still got a lot of the same pants and, you know, the name brand stuff that you all know, like First Lights, the Sitka, all that stuff. I think it's interchangeable at this point. It's just what you're comfortable with, what fits you, what you feel like you can move in. And
what about boots?
Boots is a big,
I feel like it's a big one.
And now this is a big like intra-Alaska argument that I have no part being
You
a
have
part
some
of.
stake in it. Now you've been to Alaska, how many times now? This is your 4th trip now?
Yeah, you'll see the guys up there running extra toughs, even on a moose hunt like this.
Really?
So like, and gear's funny because my brother-in-law Isaac, like, you know, I come out there like looking like I should be in a catalog, and he gets out of his tent and he's wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
Crocs, I'd bring those.
I will buy the new Sitka Crocs. They look sick.
He's just got sweatpants on and he's wearing a lime green shirt.
Yep.
And he kind of does it.
He's out camping. He's having fun.
He's like, I can hunt whatever and wear like gym clothes because, he's dialed like that. So like it is like you can get away with whatever you have.
Yeah.
I think if you have the good rain gear, you can wear whatever under it you want. It's what your comfort level is and how much you can tolerate. So I say that with the gear stuff. I don't think you need to be like decked out and head to toe stuff. You might feel a lot better along the way, but if you can grit it through. But like boots, he wore extra toughs the whole time. First time I went, I hiked that 9 miles out in muck boots.
Stop it.
I lost all my toenails and I had trench foot. And
you had muck boots?
That's what I brought because I was like,
shout out to Muck. They should have given you some money for that trip.
Still got them. I mean, like by the end of it, my feet were soaked, and then you don't think about like the rain coming down. I didn't have gaiters. Like all the rain's just going into those boots. But yeah, he wore extra toughs. Like your feet are going to be soaked. I have crispy boots. They hold out the water really good and they dry out somewhat decent. Yeah. If you get a good pair of socks.
Are you wearing with your crispies? Are you wearing like a 200 or 600 gram like insulated?
Yeah, I do an insulated pair up there because your feet do get cold. And then if you're even like doing
I know they're a little harder to dry out, but like it's that little piece of comfort of having warm feet sometimes.
And like at night, if you even throw, you pull those liners out of them and throw them in the bottom of your sleeping bag, they'll suck the moisture out. I wouldn't say they're dry, 100%. But
better than being wet.
But you rotate the socks and you get a little more support than extra toughs. I debated going extra tough route, but he's the pilot.
Yeah.
He's in and out.
Yep.
He's still packing out and he'll pack out a full boost in extra toughs. He's built different. I was going to
say, if someone shows up to camp and they're wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt, either they're crazy or they have done it too many times and this is like, all right, trust you.
And like he's used to it. So he just kind of knows I'm going to be wet. I'm going to be miserable. And he's dialed. So I do take a little bit of that. And like this trip, he'll think I've brought about the same amount of stuff, but I feel like I've really narrowed it down to.
Would you say, are you an overpacker or an underpacker?
Overpacker. Huge. Okay. But this time I'm like the guy that's in camp. Like there's a down moment. I'm like, organizing,
going through stuff,
laying stuff out, trying to like have it all dialed. And
so you are like, okay, so that's kind of funny. So are you like, when you're packing stuff logistically, because this is how I pack, does everything have to be spread out in a 10-foot circle for you to look at everything, analyze it, and then like, okay, now I can put it back together?
Laid it all out, put it all out. The hard thing when you fly up there is like you kind of you can't like lay it out like you'd use it. So I have like a big dry bag that I have, tent, sleeping bag, jet boil. That's all just shoved in there, and then all my clothes are kind of like in a duffel for like a carry-on or whatever. And then you're gonna have to get out there and kind of reassess and repack it into dry bags, and that's an issue in itself because you're out. You're in a tent or you're out in the middle of nowhere and it's like raining. So you kind of want to have it all packed in a dry bag to get there.
Yeah.
And you got to take it out and put it in its other dry bags. And then you kind of take your spike camp bag with your rain gear and an extra set of clothes. And, you kind of pack it again, and then pack your day bag. And then that's kind of what you run with. And then you kind of like, everything else is in your tent and you kind of roll from there. So it's
a lot.
It's like the biggest part of it is the gear, in my opinion. That's what I stress out the most about. I don't stress about like the pack it's like the gear.
So with all the things that you need to pack and put together and do, what would you say? Like, tell me before I guess get to this question, like break down your kit. For your gun setup. Like going into your last moose hunt, obviously kind of packing meat out this time, but like, what are you bringing out for a gun if you're going to go on a moose hunt?
Yep. Typically? I had a 300 Weatherby.
Nice.
Good scope. I feel like that's key is like you can't possibly put enough lead into a moose.
Yeah.
And, I've seen and heard people shoot 4 or 5 times, like, and that's what you take. And then you got to think about bear protection. And
are you bringing like a handgun, or are you bringing bear mace?
45 handgun. Nice. I'm not doing bear spray.
Cannon.
That's another thing too, is like you can't fly with bear spray. So
gotta buy it there.
And you gotta buy it up really there. Expensive. And then that's a whole other thing with your, I've heard air taxis or guides, like they want to be the ones taking your spray out. So that might be something you pay for from them, because they don't want, some guy coming and shooting off a can of bear spray in their plane.
Yeah.
So I'd say don't underestimate the caliber. Yeah. You don't want to mess around.
I'd go bigger than you think.
Yep.
And you think a 10 millimeters enough?
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's the one. I want to buy a Glock 10. I think that's like a...
Okay, so it comes down, and this is, again, another debate. Do you feel like you can make one shot with a 45, or would you rather spray?
I don't think people realize that. Like every time that I've talked to anybody out west, like talking Colorado, like, lower 48, like people think that they have all this time in the world to shoot.
Yeah.
And it's literally, you're going to get, like, I was just listening to somebody talk about this the other day, like watching a bear's reaction. Like if a bear's up high, like typically they're just kind of checking you out and looking at you, but if like the bear's got its face down on the ground, like you're fucked.
Likely if it's on you, you're hopefully there's.
But you're not lugging around. I mean, personally, I'd love to have a shotgun. Yeah. But who in the hell is going to lug around a 15-pound shotgun?
Yeah, and you're going to see bears in a lot. Every time I've been there, I've seen bears, and
that has to be another feeling of just like
the worst.
Just
it's
hairy.
Nonstop fear, and awareness. It's just like the old bear aware. Your brother-in-law got a bear
cool video. Go watch
through
it.
them, and that bull eye shot. The next day we flew over the carcass, and that a bear had already, not 10 hours after we had left.
Yeah.
A bear had already completely dug that carcass out. Had some other friends out there that they had to shoot at a bear coming into camp. And then that same bear was on a moose they killed.
I think one of the most terrifying videos I've ever watched of a grizzly was, I think this was in Idaho, or it could have been Alaska. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this grizz, it could have been a brown bear, I guess, too, but I'm assuming it was a grizzly, literally ragdolled this probably 500-pound black bear that it killed.
Yeah.
And ran up the side of this hill.
Yep.
Probably 5-10 miles an hour, just dragging this bear up the hill. And I'm like, that thing could take down a moose.
Yeah. And that's like
rip when through five men.
You're in the alders or willows and like you're quartering a moose. It's like.
And are they loud or are they quiet? Like, can you hear a bear?
You just hear this like, but like I've only, the closest I was the last trip. We had like a black bear.
Okay. Which I assume is probably like not a joke either.
No, it was like 200 yards, circling. That is the nice thing about doing like a fly trip is you're kind of typically on a ridge when you're packing that meat up.
Yeah.
So you do have a good vantage point, but like those river trips, you're
sketch.
Alders over you.
Yeah.
Isaac's talked about he's packed out and just seen eyes. Turns around, there's eyes.
What about wolves?
Wolves are out there. We saw a wolf and wolf pups when we were out there last time, which was super cool.
It's kind of neat.
Yep, that's a big problem up there. On a lot of these hunts too, that you can buy a bear tag with
sure.
if you buy a caribou tag, you can get a $200 bear tag, black bear tag. So that's cool. And there's opportunities. So.
Kind of just going through stuff now. That way we were able to break down kind of your gear kit. We broke down everything, what it needs to be kind of successful in Alaska. We're kind of running out of time right now. We want to be able to break this for people listening. We're going to break this into 2 episodes. We're going to basically do a part 1 and a part 2 after you get back from your trip. And I want to hear more of your personal story, but we'll talk a little bit about now. But like, I look at and think of Alaska, and literally the only thing I have to go off of is pictures and kind of the ideas of what I can paint into my head. And what really opened it up for me is when I was editing that video of Ryan and Andrew when they were Alaskan, just how beautiful it was. But like, tell me a little bit about this kind of finding your faith in Alaska, because I feel like that is kind of a loaded gun question, because I feel like you could probably talk, just knowing the backstory of you, for a long time about that. But just kind of break that down to me. I feel like there's so many aspects to that hunt that really test your faith.
Yeah. Well, I think like the main thing there for me is like I talked about my my grandpa and my uncle and my dad even, and like they were always so like outdoor driven and like vocal about like God's creation. Like this is God's beauty, and you go to a place like that and it's like, how can you not sit there and think like this is beyond, this is like God's handiwork. It's his right hand, and you sit there and you're alone and you don't have technology and like job and work
you're truly detached.
You're just detached, and it's like you have no choice but to just sit, and you think a lot about your life and like yourself, and there's a lot of reflection time, and like I feel like every time I've came back from there or any trip, or you want to be a better person. I want to do this. I want to, and the problem is trying to kind of carry that on. But yeah, I mean, that first trip was kind of earth shattering a little bit, like scary. I had that my daughter had been born 6 months before that. So like I was, feeling like, geez, what have I kind of done here? Like if I end up getting freaking whatever, anything can happen up there. So like that kind of rocked me a little bit. My wife has really been the driving point in kind of my faith journey. Grew up kind of like Lutheran church, Sunday holiday type guy. My parents were, we pray, we talk about God. Like I wouldn't say they led me astray in any way, but I volunteered at Sunday school. I had a good faith life journey. But my wife and my brother-in-law, like they kind of opened my eyes to like a little bit different thinking, in it, and that's a good opportunity when I'm up there with him. And that's what we talk about a lot, is our faith. And
I feel like you get tested mentally out there to where like you really, you're relying on one another. Kind of that aspect too, but it's like kind of at the mercy of nature and at his hand. So I feel like it's a really good.
We're praying before we fly. We're praying before we set out of the tent in the morning. Like, let us be safe. Let us, let the shot ring true. There's so many variables. And, even on that moose hunt, like we had some precarious weather flying home, and like we're praying as we're flying, like kind of wondering like, hey, can we get out of this in one piece? And at the end of the day, what else do you rely on? Like gear, great. Garmin InReach, great. When all else fails, it's like you have your faith. And like, I don't, without that, it's got to be scary. Like it's truly like that is a faith like journey when you're on something like that.
I think of an opportunity like that, and I think maybe that's why Boundary Waters has been so close to me, because there's been some other places that I've been where I've been completely don't have any connection to anything, but I think it's such an opportunity where it's like you are so detached from reality outside of being in that moment. It's the only thing you've got. You got that and this. And like those two things go so hand in hand where he's just like waiting for you to talk to him and have a conversation with him. Yeah. It's like, I've taken away everything. You have no excuse not to talk to me right now.
That's a great way to phrase it. Like he's waiting for you to talk to him. And you feel that. It's like, all right, let's have a you truly feel like you just have a conversation. It's like you can reach out and like have a conversation.
Has there been any specific moments out there outside of like the sheer mystique and beauty of it, because it is beautiful, but like any moments where it's like, oh wow, that was like, I felt God in that moment, or like something where he spoke to you or something happened of where it's just like, yep, he's here right now.
Yeah. I think like you feel that with the beauty and like, to your point, like, you feel that. I think like some of the lower moments, honestly, where even like it's raining nonstop and you're just sitting in there. It's like, what am I doing out here? Like, why am I, hundreds of people would be thankful to come and do this, but then you're just sitting in a tent for 2 days, soaking wet, eating freeze-dried food, and your family's at home. And your wife's like probably struggling with the kids. And you're like,
what am I doing?
Should I be at home? And then it's like, a great moment to pause and be like, well, I'm learning something from this experience. Like I'm growing. And like kind of just taking it as a little bit of a challenge to like dig deeper. And then, like that, anytime there's some hike or pack out, or like the flight thing that we had the last time we were there, where we were like gonna have to throw the plane down. It's like, you pray. I mean, you're like 100%. You can't get on your hands and knees in a Super Cub, but if I could have, I would have been on my hands and knees. Like, you're in reaching people, like, pray for us. We're praying out loud. Like, you can't help but have grown your faith from that, because it's like, it's a harrowing thing.
I think it's those moments of fear too, of like, where it's like, not, I mean, I guess in daily life, anything can happen anytime.
Yeah.
I mean, but you truly are in circumstances putting yourselves in harm's way where logistically things could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You're out of the routine. Like, you could, every day you get in your car, it's more dangerous than flying.
Yeah.
But like, when you feel like you're on the edge, it's a different
experience.
It's like, not many people live on the edge like that. So like, when you are on the edge, you feel like your faith is your only thing to rely on, honestly.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's grown me a lot, and I look forward to that this time.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's going to be something.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a moment where I feel crappy, or I feel
we're going to have a fun crack at like a little more camaraderie too.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be with a couple more guys. I'll get to meet new people, and kudos to my brother-in-law. Like, that's his whole mission with doing this is he tries to take people that wouldn't otherwise get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
It's friends. It's people going through divorce.
Mm-hmm.
It's people that are questioning their faith. Like, that's what he seeks out, is to take people, and it'll be super cool to have him on the pod and hear his take on it. But like, that's his mission.
Yeah.
And you cannot help but like,
and what a cool place to do that.
And it's like, what an awesome opportunity for people to grow themselves. And you hear about like, veteran programs and stuff where they take people out and you ride horse and you work hard, and like, that's what this is. It's just hunting. And it's in a hard place, and it's with good dudes and good girls, and you build camaraderie, you build your faith, and 100%. Like, you can't help but come back from it, I feel like, a better person.
Yeah.
And I've learned something, and hopefully the successful hunt is like the bonus of it, so.
Love that. Well, that's good, man. Yeah. And we'll, next on part 2, we'll get down some deep rabbit holes, which will be fun. But I've got some rapid fire questions for you before we wrap it up. So these are quick and short. So feel free to answer them as long-winded as you want. Otherwise, keep them short.
I'll try to keep it short.
Okay. So first one, what is your go-to like freeze-dried meal?
I like the cheesy egg skillet from Mountain House.
Solid choice.
Peak Fuel has the same like kind of menu as Mountain
Chili
House.
Mac's pretty good.
But that's a good one. Breakfast, dinner, whatever. Cheesy skillet is
What about favorite bar?
I've wavered on this recently. Costco sells these cookie dough and or peanut butter jelly bars. I can't remember what they're called, but those are bomb.
Okay.
Good old fashioned blueberry Cliff Bar goes a long way too.
Okay. So those are solid.
I like those. And then Honey Stinger wafers.
Which flavor though?
They have
the original.
I think the original one's the only one I've even ever had.
They have like 12, and they're all incredible.
Things, I think like I pulled my pack out last time, and I think I had one in there still. And it's
I look forward to my snack bags so much. Where like I'm so OCD though, I'll pack out each day's meal in a little separate freeze dry bag. So it's a freeze dry bag within a freeze dry bag. And I get giddy about like, oh my God, I get to have my candy today.
Quick sidetrack on that. Watching some football here in the background, talking football draft. You go with a buddy or a couple buddies, everyone goes, gets their adequate, freeze dried bars, hydration packs. You put it all in the middle and you do a draft of your food before a trip.
What?
Really fun. Really fun. Like you get first pick, snake draft type of situation.
No.
And then you do your bars like that. Yeah. And
that's kind of a cool idea.
Ultimately, at the end, it's like a pile of beef stroganoff. Mountain House.
no one wants.
I
actually like the beef stroganoff. It's pretty good.
Good for you. Well,
okay. So go to, this one I ask everybody, but go to gas station, snack or drink in the morning. Could be local, whatever you're at.
Yep. Casey's was a big one back in the day.
Okay.
In high school for me. Diet Mountain Dew. Before I was in the coffee stage.
Okay. Interesting.
Still like a Diet Dew. Like I'll throw a Diet Dew in for this trip.
Just one.
Just one.
That's kind of a treat. When will you when you crack that usually?
when you're hunting, you can crack whatever you want whenever you want. So like you can have a dew at
that's
7 a.m.
a reward system.
Diet dew on a hunt like this. I mean, throw in like Reese's Cups, whatever, something good. I'll even throw in like a pack of venison sticks.
Okay. That's
and
nice.
like, you can't eat those every day because like you want to save them. But
yeah,
if I'm like going duck hunting or deer hunting, Casey's breakfast pizza.
It's one piece of gear that you would not be able to live without in Alaska.
I said the rain gear, but I feel like that's
something outside of, outside of your gun, a Garmin, a tent, or rain gear. So I think those are pretty staples.
I have a good one. I brought something to the table for my brother-in-law, Isaac. Blow up pillow.
Ooh.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Packs like this
small. Tiny small.
You wrap a t-shirt on it or something, and you've got like neck support. I think everyone rolls their puffy up, sleeps on their pack, but like to have like a pillow.
It's nice. I have
especially
one.
At 35 years old. It's like,
clutch.
Pillow.
Nice.
So can't go without
last one I've got for you, and I think maybe you touched on it a little bit, but like, what is the heaviest load that you've ever done? If you had to put a guesstimation of weight on it, what was that?
For sure, moose hind quarter, and I think they're 125 pounds.
Damn.
So, and then I had my gun with me, rifle. Add whatever that is, and maybe a couple random pieces of gear in your bag still.
It's crazy.
So, brutal.
And
I didn't feel like I had to go that far.
I've done 80 pounds in my pack weight. That's the most I've done.
Brutal. Like, you need help getting up. You need that's another art that we'll talk about in the next pod, is how you get up with a moose rack on your back and like how you get up, but 125 is probably the biggest.
Crazy.
I've seen Isaac do 125 pounds, and then he's
an Olympic athlete.
He'll carry he'll shoulder a bag of trim meat and he'll lat me. He won't like me bragging about him,
he's
but
a different
he's
animal.
A beast. So
he is a beast. Well, cool, man. Ross, thanks for hopping on. Guys, like I said, this is part 1 of a 2-part series. We'll get Ross when he gets back from his trip. We'll dive in a little bit more. Probably you'll come back. Come on. Unless you move up there.
Yeah,
but
we'll bring you up.
We'll have you on again here probably in like 3 weeks. And we'll talk kind of about his trip. I think we'll probably at that point in time have a little bit more to talk about deer hunting. Yeah. We'll do some more faith stuff, and
hopefully have some pictures, and there's a good group of guys going. So lots of tags out there.
Heck yeah.
Lots of opportunities.
Cool guys. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through faith and the great outdoors. We hope today's episode has inspired you to seek God's presence in the wilderness and deepen your connection with nature. If you enjoyed today's discussion, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Wild Faith Podcast on your favorite platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode, and you'll continue to be a part of the Wild Faith Podcast community. We'd also love to hear from our listeners, so please don't hesitate to reach out with your questions, comments, or topic suggestions. You can connect with us on social media or through our website. Your feedback is important to us and helps us improve and tailor our content to better serve you. And always remember, the great outdoors isn't just a playground for hunting and fishing. It's a sanctuary for finding solace and spiritual renewal. As you gear up for that next adventure, I pray you find God's presence in the crackling of a campfire, the thrill of reeling in your catch, or the quiet solitude found in nature. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Wild Faith Podcast. Take care, and God bless.